Insurance agents from around the world, welcome to the Insurance Guys podcast, hosted by yours truly, Scott Howell, and the incomparable Bradley Flowers. For agents, by agents, we're here to share real-life experiences, tips, and insights related to all aspects of both being an insurance agent and running a successful agency. So sit back, turn up the volume, and let's get down to business. Insurance agents from around the world. This is Scott Howell, agency owner and insurance evangelist for I Protect Insurance and Financial Services based out of Huntsville, Alabama. And you are listening to the Insurance Guys podcast. Our mission is to help insurance agents in any way we can with their business, with sales, anything we can do to help these guys out there, we're going to do. And before we get started, let me introduce first team All-American, Rivals 5-star recruit, Great American, and fantastic insurance agent. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the incomparable Bradley Flowers. How you doing, Bradley?
I'm excited, Scott. How are you?
Man, I am fired up and ready to go. Before we get started, Bradley, introduce our sponsor for today, babe.
Today's sponsor is Thrice Beard Oil Company. Thrice is a premium men's grooming brand focused on creating a clean and distinguished look and feel. Head over to thrice.co to order any product.
Guys, on this episode today, I am beyond excited to have two guys that are not only thought leaders in the industry, they are, in my opinion, Bradley, changing the industry. We have been working now for about, 6, 8, 10 weeks to try to get them on the show. They've been called the two brightest bulbs you'll ever come across in the social media world. I've also heard them known as the Bearded Legends. They are the founders of Insurance Soup, which is a fantastic page on Facebook that a lot of agents, I think at last count, 16,794 agents were on that. And I check it from time to time periodically and just to see what everybody's talking about. And they're also the founders of Career Agent Concepts. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that is. Have a sneaky feeling it's lead generation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the two brightest bulbs in social media, Mr. Michael McCormick and Mr. Taylor Dobbie. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, what's going on, gentlemen? Thanks for having us on the call.
Man, I am so excited to have both of you here. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being on the show today. Before we get started, I have got to hear the story of these beautiful, girthy beards that both of you have. How did that happen? How did it come about?
Well, I think both of us actually have relatively embarrassing stories about why our beards exist, so I'll let Taylor embarrass himself first.
No, I joined the military right out of high school, so
thank you for your service, by the way.
I appreciate that, man. So right after high school, I got in trouble. I used to have to sit in the principal's office about 3 times a week because I refused to shave. So I went to the military to where I had to shave every day. I got out in 2012 and I threw my razor away and I said, the hell with that. And hadn't shaved. I've trimmed it down. I've cut it down. I've regretted it at times and kind of need to trim it up now, but that bad boy's here to stay.
Michael posted on Facebook a few weeks ago that your beard was out of control.
It's getting there.
Dude, you got a pet raccoon living in it.
I love it. I love it. So before we get started, we've got so much to talk about today. I want to talk about lead generation. I want to talk about career agent concept. I actually personally want to learn more about that, and I want other agents out there to know more about that as well. Tell me kind of how you guys got together. I know, Michael, you went to University, or is it University of Villanova? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, and then Taylor, I didn't see where you went to school, but I'm assuming that at some point you two kind of got together and formed a partnership and started doing some stuff together. Tell us how that happened.
Yeah, I'll let you explain that, Mike.
All right. Well, at this point, it's like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if it was 13 or 14. I want to say it was 2014. Taylor and I met in a different marketing group where we were, starting to kind of really cut our teeth and get our feet wet with regards to learning how to do things on social media and all that kind of stuff. And it was one of those types of deals where it was a big ticket education that kind of left you feeling like you overpaid for what you got yourself into. And Taylor and I kind of branched off within the course that we were in, and started comparing notes and all that kind of stuff. And after we both left that course feeling a little bit disappointed and like we paid a lot for basically what amounted to one trick, we decided that, you know what, we were going to start branching out and really digging into the education. It was great to understand that this rabbit hole was there that we weren't really familiar it existed prior. But once that rabbit hole got open, we knew that we needed to go down as far as possible to really get an understanding of how we could maximize the opportunity for our agencies. And we both started getting ourselves involved in a lot of courses and comparing notes and, really just starting to get competitive with one another. We were, showing each other what we were doing in our agencies, the amount of opportunity was uncovering for us, the amount of business we were writing from it and all that kind of stuff. And finally, we just got to a point where, we realized that, hey, we've got a skill set that's head and shoulders above, anyone that we know is doing. And the industry at large absolutely is dying for this kind of education. So we started putting our combined education together.
So, guys, I think that is a beautiful segue into career agent concepts. Tell us a little bit about that. So the 250,000 insurance agents that listen to this podcast, I want them to understand and know exactly what career agent concepts is. And I don't care which one of you leads the show here, but tell us about that. I want to hear about that.
Well, I just spoke, so Taylor, why don't you run with the ball?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, what we've created with CAC is how to market your agency in now, 2018. When CAC came about in 2015, the agency force was still years behind. And the reason for it is corporate and, district offices, what they're teaching agents to go out and do is what they did 10, 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And, the way that things have evolved and technology has come about, there's more efficient and cost less to market and get yourself out there in front of people. And that's kind of the whole motivation and drive behind CAC is to get your agency marketed in 2018 to where you're in the palm of the hand of the prospect. Because to compare, billboards used to be a big hit. You used to be able to make a lot of money using billboards. Now, when you're driving down the road, if you're a passenger in the car, you're not looking up at billboards. You're looking at the palm of your hand. You're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on some kind of social network. So if you're not in the palm of the hand of your prospects, then you're missing out on a lot of opportunity. So we teach ways how to get in front of your perfect prospect. If you're looking for that married couple that makes over X amount a year, that has 2 kids between the ages of 3 and 9, that own a home that's worth over $500,000, and that's who you're going after. We teach you how to put your message in front of that exact audience. So if they raise their hand and say, hey, I want to talk about insurance.
Hey, Taylor, I want to ask this question too. Is the concept course, is it specifically geared towards insurance agents? Or if I was a real estate agent or a plumber or someone like that, could you tailor, that course to kind of fit them as well?
So that's a great question. We actually had someone reach out to us on the Insurance Soup website. I saw the email this morning. They are a car salesman and we're looking to join the course.
Right.
And we've had real estate agents, lenders, I think electric company. We've had a bunch of, different people come from outside the insurance industry.
Right.
And our straight up answer, no. Mm-hmm. We are insurance focused and we don't try to expand out beyond that. Insurance is what we're really good at. Well, you could take the course and you could easily tweak a few strategies or some of them straight up just use and generate business in any niche or any industry. But we refuse to sell the course to anyone outside of insurance agents. We won't allow any corporate, any, agency managers to where if they've got 20 agents, working under them. We work with the agents in the industry. And I think that's where we're really able to make the biggest change and the biggest impact is working with an agent to where you can physically see the financial results within their household.
And one thing I like about that, Taylor, is there's so many courses out there for marketing and lead generation and that sort of thing, and they boast that it works for any industry, and it's so hard. I personally think that insurance is one of the hardest products to market, especially when you have to take something that's not designed for insurance and turn it into something that's designed for insurance. And that's one thing that I like about you guys is you're so straight up. Like, look, this is an insurance course. You don't have to say, okay, we're going to have to take this and mold it and fit it into the box of what we want it to be. It's a straight up insurance course. Of course, all the strategies and everything work in a lot of industries, but you guys are tailored towards insurance agents, and you say do it this way. And I think it really, I don't want to say cuts a lot of corners, but it saves obviously a lot of time of figuring out how to do that.
I was going to say, I think that's what makes our course so appealing to the agents that we've been able to help is so many agents are seeking the ability to generate leads. And when they start, going down that route and they have that kind of epiphany moment that they need to really get an understanding of how all this works, the very first types of marketers that they seek out are the ones who boast being able to generate leads in any industry, and the ones that have kind of a generalist course and teach you the basics of maybe how to use the platform or an overall view of how things work. But the bottom line is a lot of the stuff that works in your typical business plain and simply doesn't work in the insurance business. We can't offer a buy one, get one or a 20% off or, the type of thing that is going to draw traffic and attention to an ad on say a local business owner who can, do whatever he wants. We're a regulated industry. We've got ways that we have to speak about our products. We've got things that we're allowed to do and not allowed to do as far as our offerings, our messaging, and all that kind of stuff. And what I think a lot of our clients appreciate is the fact that you're able to join our education and our mastermind without having any kind of real prior experience in marketing at all. And we're going to set you up to start generating a ton of opportunity for your agency. We've had guys that have joined, and within 6 or 7 hours, they've got leads flowing in. That's results not typical. Of course, not everyone's doing that, but generally speaking, within 6 to 10 days, they're starting to see some traction. But one of the things that we also focus on in the course, and why we do have people from other industries reach out to us, is the fact that we help our guys generate leads for referral partners and partnering industries as well. So there are people in neighboring industries that do hear about us that reach out. Like Taylor just mentioned, there's a car sales guy that reached out this morning in our email, and 2 or 3 weeks ago we had a realtor that was asking to join, and we actually have a husband-wife team. One's an insurance agent, one's a realtor that's actually in the course right now that we allowed in, because I think we could all agree on it's great to have leads, but what every single insurance agent out there wants, and what every insurance agent loves to thump their chest and brag about when they've actually achieved, is they want an agency that's running on referrals. So what we have in our course is the ability not only to generate opportunity for your agency, but what we want our clients doing as they, really develop their skill set and mature into the education, we want them generating the opportunity for the loan officers, for the realtors, for the accountants, for the attorneys. We got guys in the course right now that are generating leads for all sorts of small business owners that are working literally with 5 to 10 homeowners a day that are sending them business, like HVAC guys and pest control guys and local small business owners that are just a presence in the community, like your movie theater owners or your restaurant owners. Or while we will absolutely show you how to make sure that you never have anything other than an abundance of people to call for your agency and to work on, on new leads and all that kind of stuff. What the end game is for us, and what we hope most of our clients realize as they're going through the education, is that the real secret sauce is to build out that army of referral partners who are going to be introducing you to the people that you want to be talking to. Because when that know, like, and trust factor is already pre-baked into the prospect, and you don't have to earn that, you're off to the races and writing a lot more business. So we've got a ton. Taylor, at this point, and Bradley, you're in the middle of the education. I don't know how many strategies we're teaching in total. It's somewhere between 50 and 100, but the course is always expanding, and we're constantly evolving and adding new plug-and-play type strategies to enhance and enrich the curriculum.
So I'm about 23% in the course, I think. Well, they give you a tracker inside the course that tells you how much of it you finished. I think I'm about 23% in. Of course, I knew how to run ads and that sort of thing before. I didn't know how to do this stuff. A lot of the stuff I skipped because I knew how to do it already. And that's just the course is for everybody. The course is for the guy who has some experience, and the course is for the guy who's brand new. Wouldn't you agree, Michael?
Oh, absolutely. We've got agents that are with us that are in the industry for 20 plus years that kind of woke up and said this old dog needs to learn some new tricks. And we've got some people that, I mean, we've got a State Farm agent in our program right now that literally came to us 4 months before she opened her office. And she basically came to us because she was in Insurance Soup while she was starting her training, all that kind of stuff, heard about it, and she said, I need to be good at what you're teaching before I open my door so I can come out guns blazing. So I mean, we really do have every experience level.
So, guys, I'm going to stop you right there because we're talking from a 30,000-foot level, and I'm not very smart. I barely scratched ninth grade. When we talk about this concept, and I'm just trying to help our listening audience out there as well, what exactly are we talking social? Are we talking Facebook? Are we talking LinkedIn? Are we talking all of it? What are we talking about exactly?
The way that the course is laid out is it's 12 different modules. So each module is kind of like its own standalone course in a way. And within each module are step-by-step videos to how to complete, that task. So if you're looking to generate leads for your agency, and you're going after, like I mentioned earlier, that married couple that owns a home that's over $500,000, that they both make over 6 figures a year with kids between the ages of 3 and 9, 3 lines of credit, then you can target that exact client. If you're looking to generate home buyer leads, your lenders, your real estate agents, to get them in the door and really provide value, you can jump straight into that module. We've got right now the 12 different modules and just under 100 videos.
How long does it take to complete one module? What's the time frame?
Kind of depends. Like I'm looking at one module and it's got 15 videos, and then another module like understanding the psychology behind your prospect. That module only has 4. So it really kind of depends on how in-depth the strategy is that you're looking, to accomplish. Some modules will take longer than others because they're more in-depth, and what we've done is we've taught them from beginning to end. Like you mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter if you've already got an education or you've got a foundation. We're still going to teach you as if you know absolutely nothing.
Right.
Because just because you think you know how to do it one way, we may teach it a different way. Not saying it may be a better way, but we're going to teach a different way and explain why. And that's the whole point of the course, is to where you take someone. We've literally had someone that signed up that just created the Facebook page 2 weeks prior. You take someone from no experience or someone that already has an in-depth education. What we teach them goes so far down the rabbit hole, and Mike and I continue to invest in ourselves. That's why Mike works with the #1 Facebook marketer in the world. We continue to work with new marketing consultants, each and every month. Is our education continues to grow. There's no finish line. You're never going to get to the end and, raise your hand and say, okay, I finished learning. The course continues to grow. And when we first released it, it was nowhere near as in-depth as it is now. And as Facebook and social media in general changes, because like you mentioned, we're not just Facebook. We have LinkedIn. Mike's actually in the process of completely revamping the LinkedIn program. And the reason for that is LinkedIn has come a long ways in the last 9 months.
And he's been teasing everybody about that too.
Yeah.
Michael's been teasing.
I've seen it put together on the back end side, and it's really going to be something special. LinkedIn has taken that same mindset as Facebook when it comes to their platform, and has really opened up the doors to get, B2B, to get to the business and bypass the gatekeeper and things like that.
Okay, one of the things that we kind of, focus on with Career Agent Concepts, we've got 2 businesses that kind of operate and wash each other's hands a little bit between Insurance Soup and Career Agent Concepts. Insurance Soup, we're building out as a resource and content center for the entire industry. If you've got a problem in your agency, if there's a hole that you need to have plugged, we want you to be able to lean on our community and our site to be able to help find the solution for you. But as far as Career Agent Concepts is concerned, what our goal with that company is, and what we sink so much time, effort, energy, and ultimately a lot of money into, educating ourselves, going through tremendous amounts of content and courses and mentors and all that kind of stuff, but also with the actual testing of marketing strategies. I mean, right now we're north of $500,000 in our education at this point. But what we are focused on with Career Agent Concepts is to help the agents of the industry who are interested in the do-it-yourself lead gen potential that's out there, because there are so many agents out there that are just exhausted paying $8, $10, $12 for the right to get into the octagon and square off with 3 or 4 other agents.
I love that so much.
Over a completely untargeted lead, when the reality is you could be paying. I mean, our guys generate leads for $3 to $8 a piece. When they've got an ad that's really firing on all cylinders, they come in even less than that. I mean, we had someone that generated over 1,600 leads for $80 on one campaign not that long ago, and we've had people generate 1,700 leads for $2,300, 1,600 leads for $1,300. I mean, and these are exclusive, and they mirror the exact type of prospect that you want to be talking to. So, you know that you're talking to the multi-auto homeowner with life insurance needs, a little bit of disposable income, and retirement planning that hasn't gotten into play yet, versus the guy that is driving one car, living in his mom's basement, and has absolutely no other needs other than you insuring him until he gets into his next accident and gets dropped. So, we know that there is a very large contingency of the industry that is just exhausted of overpaying and being under-delivered to by these different lead companies. So what Career Agent Concepts, goal is for the industry is to put out education that allows the agent to put himself in the driver's seat and eliminate the poor lead quality or the lack of opportunity. A lot of times agents, they'll sign up for the different lead companies or whatever, and they don't even have the volume to supply the area. So you're sitting around, even though you're waiting for that next lead to come in, it just doesn't come in because that particular marketplace might be saturated. A company like a NetQuote or a Quote Wizard might have, 50 agents within a 10-mile radius of where you are, all demanding leads, and there might not be enough volume of requests to even feed all those agents. What makes what we do so different than the traditional lead gen model is we are bringing people that are not currently shopping their insurance into the marketplace. They are hopping online, hopping on social media, and going through their Facebook feed or their LinkedIn feed or, whatever the case may be. And they are seeing a message or an offer or an opportunity that's jumping off the screen and kind of hitting them between the eyes and speaking directly to them that they are attracted to, as opposed to what so many of these lead companies that are out there are doing right now with their SEO and their PPC and all that kind of stuff, where those prospects are waking up one morning and they are saying to themselves, you know what, damn my insurance agent, that guy doesn't call me back, or that claim didn't get handled right, or you know what, I just got my renewal and I'm not paying 13 cents a month no matter what these sons of bitches say. And they hop online and they start doing a search and they submit their information online. And while it's great to have that proactive prospect that's shopping their insurance, it sucks in plain English to have to compete with 4 or 5 other people that are all making big promises, that are all putting very similar presentations in front of the prospect and all that kind of stuff. When you've got someone who didn't wake up that morning pissed off about their current situation, or possibly dropped, or maybe they had a claim mishandled, or their payment just went up, when you've got someone who is just waking up, having a normal, typical day, that gets excited about something that they saw online that might be a good fit for them, and the only person that they're speaking to about that potential opportunity is just you, the conversation is much different. You don't feel that level of anxiety of, if I don't get this person wrapped up in a nice little bow within the next 12 seconds, I'm going to have someone calling on the heels of me offering them $4 less a month, and that's going to be more than enough to push them over the edge, and I'm going to lose the client. It's just a different sales cycle, sales experience for both the insured and the agent. So, we feel that by bringing people into the marketplace that aren't coming into the market annoyed, on the heels of a bad situation, on the heels of having their mind soured over an experience they just had, and bringing them in because they're happy about something or excited about something or curious about something, it just makes it a better overall conversation for everyone involved.
Before I ask what the course cost, and then we're going to move on, I think, to the insurance soup for a few minutes. If I just jump on your website, I'm putting the ball on the tee for you here, guys. If I jump on your website, Scott Howell doesn't bother calling anybody. He just kind of peruses the old Agency Concept website. Tell our audience what they would be paying for this program if they just buy it straight off the website.
That's a good question, because if you go to the website and you look around, you can purchase our intro course, which we actually have. I think today is the 11th, so about 4 more days. It's on sale for $179. Intro course is a very basic, kind of organic, strategy to help generate opportunities. You're not going to learn how to put together Facebook ads and those things. but you're going to learn how to uncover those opportunities that are right under your nose.
And what if I wanted to just go ahead and purchase all 12 modules, just basically buy the whole course?
Yeah, so we don't allow anyone to sign up for CAC to purchase the course, join anything without sitting through an info session with us. And the reason for that is we've got 469 agents back in our private support group. You know, just as important as bringing them on the new team to us, the clients that have already paid us, you know, mean just as much. So protecting that environment, making sure that we're not letting in an agent that's going to come in and kind of disrupt or be, you know, a pain is just as important as finding an agent that, you know, really wants to join and is motivated. So we host 2 calls a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays to really go over, you know, what it is that we offer, everything that you get included, and how the course is going to be laid out. That way there's no misunderstanding. We're fully transparent about, you know, what it is that we're offering. So no one can ever come back and say, hey, you know, I thought y'all were going to create the funnels for us. I thought you were going to generate the leads for us.
What Scott's baiting you up for is the $900,000 deal you have.
That sounds like a Michael McCormick move right there. I love it.
We're priced there because all it takes is if we get 10 people to sign up at $1 million, me and Mike can chill on the beach with some fruity drink and an umbrella, and then our year's done. You know,
absolutely.
So 10 sales.
And then you can just talk about passive income all day long, every day.
Yeah, right.
I can tell you right now, you know, I mean, one of the reasons that we don't post prices because we do change things up every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
The course does get bigger. It does get, you know, it does get more robust. And we throw in different bonuses depending on, you know, time of the year, what's going on, if we're holding the sale or whatever. And quite frankly, you know, I mean, especially as an insurance professional, most agents can appreciate this. We don't just throw the price out there without anyone having any kind of real idea of what they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just going to look at the price alone, you know, your jaw's probably going to drop, because I'll tell you right now, we're not cheap. I mean, we're definitely, you know, we're definitely expensive. You know, you're not gonna walk in the door and get the keys to the castle for $500. The reason that we have our info sessions, like Taylor said, is because I don't know, probably about a year and a half or so ago, we would allow people to just purchase the course. It was a lot less expensive at that point because it was nowhere near as robust as it is now.
Right.
And what would happen every once in a while is someone would join and hop in the mastermind community, and we would get a message from them a couple of days later. So at what point are you going to start building out my first ad for me?
Right.
And we would be like, what? You know what I mean? So we would much rather have everyone coming in, eyes open, totally understanding what they're purchasing and all that kind of stuff, and educated, as opposed to posting a price somewhere that is a little bit fluid. It does move from time to time, up and down, and you know the offering changes a little bit here and there. And for them just to look at a price and make a decision based on price alone, because most of our guys ROI, despite the fact that we're not cheap, ROI within 4 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the skill set and the education that you are picking up by working with us is something that you're going to carry with you for your entire career. Mm-hmm. So for us to just lay a price out there that is going to have a little bit of sticker shock for someone who may not know what they're getting is only going to dramatically impact both us and the agent. We're not going to be able to help as many agents if they're just going to see a price and walk away. And an agent is going to lose out on a fantastic opportunity that they're going to short themselves of because they see something and think to themselves, you know what, I can't afford that. When the reality is, when you see exactly how we help agents and how quickly you'll ROI on what we're teaching you, that sticker price is nowhere near as shocking when you understand what you're going to be doing and getting out of it in return.
So I would think the biggest challenge on your end is just staying ahead of social media as fast as it changes, as fast as, you know, things change, and you guys probably have to spend, I would think, a pretty good bit of time on your end just staying ahead of it and finding, you know, new ways to tweak things and make things work a little better on whatever social media platform that particular module is dealing with. Is that a correct statement?
I wouldn't say that it's difficult, because quite frankly, we kind of geek out on it. So when you geek out on something and it's fun,
right?
It's not really a burden. I mean, so for better or for worse, we kind of live our lives on social media, and it's not difficult when you're enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Before he gets into talking about Insurance Soup, talk a little bit about the automation side, without obviously, you know, going too deep into it, but some of the automation stuff that you guys talk about, and some of the things that you can do with TouchPoints.
Yeah. So at the same time, Mike and I run Insurance Suit, Courageous Concepts. We're also minority owner in TouchPoints Professional. And what that is a text and email automation software designed specifically for insurance agents. So when someone calls in and asks, like, hey, can you email me over, a copy of my ID cards? What TouchPoints allows you to do is actually attach that attachment just like you would in an email to a text message and send it straight to their phone. That way it's easier to find. They can save that straight to their pictures. They don't have to scroll through their email 3 months from now when they get pulled over and try to find that ID card. Everything from scheduling out appointment reminders, annual reviews, you can go ahead and schedule those texts out, months in advance. Even at this point, I think we go up to 5 years. And so you can set those annual reviews to where it comes on and says, hey, Bradley, Taylor over at the ABC agency, we're coming up on a review here in a couple of weeks and we get you in the office. Our mornings, afternoons better. You can go ahead and set those messages out so that your CSR, you're not having to keep up with, okay, hey, I got the reminder now. I need to send Bradley that message. You go ahead and cut that out and do it now and it's scheduled and done with. At the same time, you can set up custom campaigns. So imagine if you've got a new client that comes on board and you set them up on an onboarding campaign. You have it to where on day 2, after you add them to it, it triggers the first message. Hey, again, Bradley, just wanted to welcome you to the ABC agency. We really appreciate your business. Looking to go above and beyond. If you have any questions, here's our phone number, our email, our text service line, and you give them all the information. Then 5 days later, they get another message. Hey, Bradley, just want to follow up, make sure we got all those documents to make sure none of the discounts that we applied to your policies fall off. Last thing we want to do is to see that premium go up. We'd much rather see it go down. So, blah, 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 blah. And then 5 days later, the next message can be triggered, or 3 days, whichever delay you pick, to where they're having to sign off on a life declination form saying that, y'all spoke about life insurance. They're choosing not to take it, and God forbid something happened. You want to be able to have something to show to their family that they did, in fact, sign off saying that they did not want life insurance. So you're able to set up these custom campaigns however you want. It's a completely, blank slate when you get your account. But we teach, how to use certain scripts, what campaigns work the best, things like that within the support group for CAC. And we're putting together a course specifically for the scripts and campaigns to really automate those tasks in your agency. Because if you're having to try to track down someone to get that roof document before that discount falls off, or you've got a habitual late payer. Say I pay late every month. You can go into my profile and send me a text message every single month, and it's where it's just on repeat 5 days before my premiums due. Hey, Taylor, just wanted to remind you, your premium's due in 5 days. If you have any questions, call the office or submit your payment to, whatever. So you can set up those reminders for people to help them, whether it's so they don't get the late fees or so that, their coverage doesn't lapse, whatever the case may be. But we've got agents using it for, anything in the agency that you can think of. There's ways to automate it so that you're not having to do the day-to-day work.
One of the things that a lot of our guys really love too is, like Taylor mentioned, so much of this is kind of set it and forget it. One of the things so many agents forget to do or don't have the confidence to do consistently is go after the referrals, especially from their existing book of business. They get caught up on the new business. They get caught up on the front end and making sure they're bringing more policies on board and all that kind of stuff. But when you've got things set up so that every single client, when they join your agency, begins to receive a thank you and a reminder of your referral program every 100, 120 days until the day they decide they don't want to be in your agency anymore, it really changes the dynamic of your referral game. So like if you've got a book of 100 clients and you're hitting them up 4 times a year, thanking them for their business and asking them for referrals, that simple thank you goes a long way as far as, your attrition numbers. People like to feel appreciated. And on top of that, reminding someone what your referral program looks like. People act at all different times for all different reasons. If they're down on their luck financially, you know what? If you're offering them, $10 gift card, whatever is compliant and legal in your area for introductions, that might make them jump at that point when maybe 3 months ago, 6 months ago they wouldn't. Maybe they finally have a family member who they just saw at a barbecue this past weekend that told them that they weren't happy with their insurance, and now there's a referral opportunity. So, like, if you've got a book of business that's 100 clients strong, then you're going to be asking for referrals 400 times a year. If you've got a book of business 2,000, policies strong, 2,000 households strong, you're asking for referrals 8,000 times a year. So just having that element in your agency humming in the background can be a very powerful shift in the amount of opportunity that you see on a day-to-day basis.
Guys, if somebody wants to get the touch point, do they just go to the Career Agent Concepts website, or do you have a separate website for that?
Literally everything we do is through theinsurancesoup.com.
Michael, I got to tell you, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being on this podcast today. And please, please, please tell Taylor the same thing. I'm so happy you guys were able to join us today, and I hope we get a chance here in the next year to have you guys back on and talk a little bit more. I'm going to wrap this thing up now. And guys, insurance agents around the world, listen to me. Rewards come from action, not discussion. Guys, you got to get out from behind the desk and quit aggressively waiting on the phone to ring. You've got to evolve. You've got to be a part of programs like Agency Concepts. You've got to get better at what you do, and the only way to do that is to educate yourself. So get out there and do that. Get out of that office today. Get off your ass. Go out there and sell something. Make money for your family. Write good insurance for the agency that you represent, and write good insurance business for the companies that you represent. Bradley Flowers, have a wonderful week, brother.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Michael.
Michael, thank you.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Insurance Guys podcast. If you need to know more about me, or you need to get in touch with Scott, you can always reach me at theinsuranceguyonline.com, or email me at iprotectins@gmail.com. And if you need to get in touch with Mr. Bradley Flowers, go to bradleyflowersinsurance.com, or email him at bradley@saralandinsurance.com. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to being with you again real soon on the next episode of The Insurance Guys. Take care.